Hey Emma, do you have a moment to talk?
Of course, Alex. What would you like to talk about today?
I've been thinking about learning English faster, but I'm not sure what the best method is.
That's a great topic because many people struggle with the same problem.
Sometimes I feel like I'm studying a lot, but not improving very quickly.
That feeling is very common when learning a new language.
What do you think is the most important skill to practice first?
I believe listening and speaking are the most important skills at the beginning
Why listening and speaking instead of grammar?
because language is mainly about communication, not just rules.
That makes sense because when children learn a language, they start by listening.
Exactly, they listen for months before they even try to speak.
So maybe adults should learn languages in a similar way.
Yes, listening helps your brain understand rhythm, pronunciation, and natural speech.
I usually watch English videos online to practice listening.
That's a very good method, especially if the videos have subtitles.
I like subtitles because they help me understand new words.
Subtitles can be very helpful, but sometimes it's good to listen without them too,
Why is that important?
because it trains your brain to recognize sounds without reading.
I never thought about it that way before.
Another helpful method is repeating sentences after you hear them.
You mean like shadowing?
Yes, exactly. Shadowing is a very powerful technique.
I've tried it a few times, but it felt a little strange.
It feels strange at first, but it becomes natural with practice.
How long should someone practice each day?
Even 10 or 15 minutes every day can make a big difference.
That doesn't sound too difficult to do.
Consistency is more important than studying for many hours once a week.
I think I often study a lot one day and then skip a few days.
Many learners do that, but small daily practice is much better.
Do you think speaking with other people is necessary?
Yes, real conversations help you build confidence and fluency.
Sometimes I feel nervous speaking English with others.
That's completely normal and happens to almost everyone.
I'm always afraid of making mistakes.
But mistakes are actually one of the best ways to learn.
I guess that is true because mistakes show what we need to improve.
Exactly. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn something new.
What about vocabulary? How should I learn new words?
It's better to learn words in sentences instead of memorizing lists.
That sounds easier to remember, actually.
Yes, because the sentence gives context and meaning.
I often forget words when I only memorize them from a list.
That's very common among language learners.
Reading short stories also helps me learn new words.
Reading is a great way to expand vocabulary naturally.
Sometimes I read simple English articles online.
That's perfect as long as the text is not too difficult.
If it's too difficult, I lose motivation quickly.
Exactly. The material should be challenging but still understandable.
Do you think watching movies helps with learning English?
Yes, movies are excellent because they show real conversations.
I enjoy watching movies in English with subtitles.
That's one of the most enjoyable ways to learn.
Learning should be fun, otherwise it becomes stressful.
Absolutely. Enjoying the process makes it easier to stay consistent.
I'm starting to feel more confident about my learning plan now.
That's great to hear. Confidence is very important.
Thank you for sharing these ideas with me.
You're welcome, Alex. I'm always happy to help.
Emma, Do you think learning English becomes easier after some time?
Yes, Alex. Usually the first stage is the most difficult
Why is the beginning so challenging for many learners?
because everything feels new, including sounds, words, and grammar.
That explains why I felt confused when I first started learning.
But after some practice, your brain begins to recognize patterns.
Patterns like common phrases and expressions.
Exactly. And once you notice those patterns, you understand conversations faster.
I like learning useful phrases instead of only individual words.
That's a very effective strategy for speaking naturally.
Sometimes I hear people using expressions I have never studied before.
Many expressions are learned through listening to real conversations.
That means watching interviews or podcasts could be helpful.
Yes, podcasts are excellent for listening practice.
I often listen to English podcasts while walking outside.
That's a great way to use your time productively.
Sometimes I repeat sentences quietly while listening.
That's perfect because it trains both listening and speaking.
I guess practice like that helps pronunciation too.
Definitely, repeating native speakers helps you sound more natural.
Do you think pronunciation is very important?
Clear pronunciation helps people understand you more easily.
Sometimes I worry about having an accent.
Having an accent is completely normal and nothing to worry about.
So the goal should be clarity, not perfection.
Exactly, communication is always the most important goal.
I also like learning new idioms and expressions.
Idioms can make your English sound more natural and interesting.
But sometimes idioms are difficult to understand.
That's true because they often have meanings different from the words themselves.
Can you give an example of a simple idiom?
Sure, for example, the phrase piece of cake means something is very easy.
That's funny because it doesn't actually mean cake.
Yes, idioms often have humorous origins,
Learning them makes conversations more fun.
and they help you understand movies and TV shows better.
I noticed many idioms appear in everyday conversations.
Exactly, especially in informal situations.
Do you recommend writing practice as well?
Yes, writing helps organize your thoughts in English.
I sometimes write short journal entries in English.
That's an excellent habit for improving vocabulary.
Writing also shows me which words I don't know yet.
And then you can look them up and learn them.
I feel like learning English requires using many different skills.
That's correct. Listening, speaking, reading, and writing all work together.
When those skills improve together, learning becomes faster.
Exactly. They support each other like pieces of a puzzle.
I'm starting to enjoy the learning process more.
Enjoyment is a very powerful motivation.
If learning feels fun, it's easier to continue every day.
That's the secret to long-term improvement.
Thank you again, Emma, for all these helpful tips.
You're very welcome, Alex. Keep practicing and you will see great progress.
Emma, can I ask you something about motivation?
Of course, Alex. What is on your mind?
Sometimes I start learning with a lot of energy, but later I lose motivation.
That happens to many learners. Motivation can change over time.
How can someone stay motivated while learning English?
One good method is setting small and realistic goals.
What kind of goals do you mean?
For example, learning 5 new words a day or listening for 10 minutes daily.
That sounds much easier than trying to study for hours.
Exactly, small goals make progress feel achievable.
I think I sometimes set goals that are too big.
When goals are too big, they can feel overwhelming.
So smaller goals help us stay consistent.
Yes, consistency is the key to long-term success.
Another problem I have is forgetting words I already learned.
That is very normal because memory needs repetition.
So I should review vocabulary regularly.
Yes, reviewing words after a few days helps them stay in your memory.
I have heard about flashcards for vocabulary practice.
Flashcards are very useful because they allow quick review.
Some apps even remind you when to review words.
That's called spaced repetition, and it works very well.
Technology really makes learning languages easier today.
Yes, there are many helpful tools online.
But sometimes too many resources can be confusing.
That's true. It's better to choose a few resources and use them consistently.
Do you think language exchange is helpful?
Absolutely. Speaking with native speakers is very valuable.
I tried a language exchange once online.
How was your experience?
At first I felt nervous, but then the conversation became easier.
That's usually how it works once you start speaking.
The other person was learning my language too.
That's the best part because both people help each other.
It feels more relaxed than a formal lesson.
Exactly. Conversations like that feel natural.
I think real conversations improve confidence the most.
Yes, confidence grows when you use the language in real situations.
Sometimes I also talk to myself in English.
That is actually a very useful practice method.
Really? I thought it was a strange habit.
Not at all. It helps you think in English.
Thinking in English sounds like an advanced skill.
It develops gradually with practice.
So one day I might think in English automatically.
Yes, that happens to many language learners.
That would be a big achievement for me.
And it shows that your brain is becoming comfortable with the language.
I'm beginning to see that patience is very important.
Patience and consistency are the most important qualities.
I will try to remember that during my learning journey.
And remember to celebrate small improvements.
That's a good idea because progress can sometimes be hard to notice.
Exactly, but every small improvement brings you closer to fluency.
Emma, do you think traveling helps people learn English faster?
Yes, Alex, traveling can be very helpful for language learning.
Why does traveling improve language skills so much?
Because you are surrounded by the language all the time.
That means you hear English everywhere during the day.
Exactly. In shops, restaurants, airports, and conversations.
I imagine that situation forces people to speak more.
Yes, when you need something, you must communicate.
Sometimes pressure can actually help learning.
That's true because it pushes you to use the language actively.
I once visited another country and tried to speak English.
Were you nervous when you started speaking?
Yes. At first I felt very shy and unsure.
That is completely normal in a new environment.
But after a few conversations, I felt more comfortable.
That's because your brain adapts quickly when you practice.
I also learned many useful phrases during that trip.
Real situations often teach practical vocabulary.
For example, ordering food or asking for directions.
Exactly. Those everyday situations are perfect practice.
I remember asking someone how to find a train station.
And did they understand you easily?
Yes, and that gave me a lot of confidence.
Confidence grows when communication is successful.
Do you think traveling alone is better for language learning?
Traveling alone can encourage more conversations with strangers.
Because you cannot rely on friends to speak for you.
Exactly, you become more independent in communication.
I think that experience can improve listening skills too.
Yes, because people speak with different accents and speeds,
At first, that can be difficult to understand.
but your ears quickly become used to different voices.
I like the idea of learning through real-life experiences.
Language learning becomes much more exciting that way.
Even simple conversations can teach many new words
And those words are easier to remember later.
because they are connected to real memories.
Exactly, emotional experiences strengthen memory.
Maybe that's why students remember travel stories so well.
Yes, memories connected to experiences stay longer.
I hope I can travel again and practice English more.
That would be a wonderful opportunity for learning.
Until then, I will continue practicing every day.
That's the best thing you can do.
I feel like my confidence has already improved.
And that confidence will keep growing with practice.
Thank you, Emma, for another inspiring conversation.
You're welcome, Alex. I enjoy discussing language learning with you.
These talks always motivate me to continue improving.
Motivation is one of the strongest tools for success.
I will remember that and keep practicing daily.
And your English will continue to improve step by step.
Emma, after all our conversations, I feel much more confident about learning English.
I'm very happy to hear that, Alex. Confidence makes a big difference.
Before, I thought learning a language was almost impossible.
Many people feel that way at the beginning.
Now I realize it is more about daily practice and patience.
Exactly. Language learning is a long journey.
I like the idea of improving step by step every day.
Small progress each day leads to big results over time.
Sometimes I try to imagine myself speaking English fluently.
Visualization can be a powerful motivation tool.
It helps me stay excited about my goals.
Goals give direction to your learning journey.
I think my next goal is to have longer conversations in English.
That is a wonderful goal to work toward.
I also want to understand movies without subtitles someday.
With enough listening practice, that goal is definitely possible.
Listening used to be very difficult for me.
But now your ears are becoming more familiar with sounds.
I can already understand more words than before.
That is a clear sign of progress.
Sometimes I notice that I even think in English for a moment.
That means your brain is adapting to the language.
It feels like a small victory every time it happens.
Celebrating small victories is very important.
Learning English is starting to feel enjoyable instead of stressful.
Enjoyment makes learning much more sustainable.
I think curiosity also helps a lot.
Curiosity keeps your mind open to new knowledge.
When I hear new words, I want to understand their meaning.
That curiosity helps you expand your vocabulary naturally.
I also like learning about culture through language.
Language and culture are closely connected.
Understanding culture makes conversations more interesting.
Yes, it helps you understand jokes, expressions, and traditions.
I hope one day I can travel and use English confidently.
That would be an amazing experience.
Meeting people from different countries sounds exciting.
And language makes those connections possible.
I'm grateful that I started learning English.
It opens many opportunities in life.
Thank you, Emma, for sharing so much helpful advice.
You're welcome, Alex. I enjoyed our conversations very much.
Talking about learning always motivates me to continue.
Motivation and practice will guide you to success.
I will keep practicing every day from now on.
And your English will continue improving naturally.
I'm looking forward to our next conversation.
Me too, Alex. Learning together makes the journey easier.